how are you doing? Today we're going to read a story. It's actually an old favorite that you know, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And today the purpose of reading Goldilocks and the Three Bears is to talk about characters. Who are the characters in the story? And let's dig a little bit deeper into characters and find out ways that we can describe characters. Let's start out with the story chant. A story, a story, a story, a story. Let it come and let it go. Who's in the story? The characters. Who's in the story? The characters. So I mentioned on the post this morning that characters can be people, characters can be animals, or characters can be things. But the important thing to know about characters is that they have to have feelings. Characters usually experience either a problem or a problem that solves, so it would be a solution. Characters have behaviors or actions, things that they do. And I put these thinking bubbles of feelings, problems, and behaviors or actions around the characters because they constantly change. So a feeling that a character might have at the beginning of the story might change at the end of the story because maybe the character had a problem, or maybe they had a problem and the problem was solved, or maybe the character was feeling something and they were doing something and then what they were doing changed, or another character did something that changed the feelings. So these all keep circling around and around the character. So today we're going to think about who are the characters in our story, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Now remember, a character has to have feelings. So here I have my dog Faith. Faith is an animal. But is Faith talking? No. Does Faith have feelings right now? Maybe a little bit of feeling. She's feeling pretty comfortable about sitting here during our story time. So she's not really a character in the story in my life right now. I also have a thing. Here's a little lamb. Isn't it cute? But this lamb is just a toy right now. The lamb isn't doing anything. See, won't do anything all on its own. It's not talking. It doesn't have feelings, problems, things like that. So it's just a thing. It's not a character. I'm a character because I'm doing things. I'm having story time. I feel really good about meeting with you today. So I'm a character. Okay, here we go. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Let me get really close so you can see. Once upon a time, there were 3 bears who lived in a little house in the woods. One of the bears was a cute little baby bear. One was a middle-sized mama bear. One was a great big papa bear. Now, when I look at these characters, they have a look on their face. There's a feeling in place. These characters pretty much look like they're happy, they're content. So, do you remember how at school we used to put Post-it notes in our story to help us remember things? I might put a Post-it note in about Mama, Papa, and Baby Bear. Let's read on. One day, the Mama Bear made a big pot of hot porridge. She poured the porridge into 3 bowls. Then she said, "Let's take a walk in the woods while our porridge cools." So the 3 bears made their way down the path deep into the woods. Again, look at their faces. There's a look on their face. They're feeling pretty good about the porridge Mom made that they can have later. They're happy to be going outside together for this walk in the woods. So this is where I'm going to put the Post-it note about how happy they feel. That's a feeling that they have. The 3 bears weren't the only ones taking a walk in the woods. A pretty little girl named Goldilocks had been picking flowers and had wandered far from home. She came upon the three bears' cottage. "I wonder who lives in this little house," said Goldilocks. She peeked in the window. "Is anyone home?" Goldilocks called. Then she knocked on the door. When no one answered, Goldilocks lifted the latch on the front door and walked into the little house. Dun, dun, dun! We have a problem. So, boys and girls, would you just walk into someone's house without being invited in? No. So, I'm going to put a Post-it note. I can't see the look on Goldilocks' face. I don't really know how she feels, but I noticed that from what the story said in the illustrations, that she's looking in the window, she's knocking on the door, she's wondering if someone's home. So I think that a way to describe Goldilocks is that she's curious. So I'm going to put a little Post-it note here that says curious, and I do a little curious face. And then, dun, 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 we have a problem. I put a little wow and a question mark. I wonder why she's unlatching the door and going into the house. Looks like a problem. Now, if you remember, I said that characters can have feelings, and sometimes the feelings will change if there's a problem or if somebody does something in the story. So let's keep reading and find out how this story goes and what happens with these characters. Now, Goldilocks was hungry from her walk in the woods. She saw 3 bowls on the table. "Oh, porridge," she said. "I'm so hungry and it smells so good." First, she tasted the porridge in the big bowl. "This porridge is too hot," said Goldilocks. Next, Goldilocks tasted the porridge in the middle-sized bowl. "This porridge is too cold," she said. Then she tasted the porridge in the little bowl. "This porridge is just right," she said. So she ate it all up. Goldilocks was tired from her long walk in the woods. She saw 3 chairs in a row. First, she sat upon the great big chair. "This chair is too hard," she said. Next, she sat upon the middle-sized chair. "This chair is too soft," she said. Then Goldilocks sat upon an itty-bitty chair. "This chair is just right," she said. Goldilocks was happily rocking on that itty-bitty chair when suddenly it broke apart. "Dear me!" exclaimed Goldilocks as she fell to the floor. So, we have more behaviors. Her feelings are changing. She went from kind of curious and exploring through the house to, whoops, we have a problem. I'm going to put a Post-it note, surprise. Look at that look on her face. There's a feeling in place. Goldilocks is very surprised, and so am I. Not only is she in someone else's house and using your things, but now somebody's special rocking chair's broken. Oh my, I wonder what the bears are going to think when they get home. Here we go. Let's read some more. Then Goldilocks felt very sleepy. She went upstairs to the bear's bedroom. First, she lay down on the great big bed. "This bed is too hard," she said. Next, she lay down on the middle-sized bed. "This bed is too soft," she said. Then Goldilocks lay down on the itty-bitty bed. "This bed is just right," she said. Goldilocks was so tired that just like that, she fell fast asleep. While Goldilocks was sleeping, the 3 bears returned home. "Somebody's been eating my porridge," said the great big Papa Bear in his rough, gruff voice. Somebody has been eating my porridge," said the middle-sized Mama Bear in her sweet, soft voice. "Somebody's been eating my porridge," cried the cute little baby bear in his itty-bitty voice. "And the look on their face has changed from the beginning of the story. In the beginning, I know these bears felt, yes, happy. Okay, let's keep going. Then the great big Papa Bear took a look at his chair. Its pillow was crooked. "Somebody's been sitting on my chair," he said in his rough, gruff voice. Then the middle-sized Mama Bear looked at her chair. Its pillow was all squished. "Somebody's been sitting on my chair," she said in her sweet, soft voice. Then the cute little baby bear looked at his chair. "Somebody's been sitting on my chair and has broken it into pieces," he said in his itty-bitty voice. He began to cry. Oh, and look at the text. Look, let me go really close. Look what that author did. Bold-face word, text feature. And look at how they made the letters look broken, just like the broken rocking chair. So that's an important word to me, because not only is the chair broken, but the feelings of this character are broken. How could anybody do that? Look. The three bears ran upstairs to see what else had been done. "Somebody's been lying on my bed," said the great big Papa Bear in his rough, gruff voice. "Somebody's been lying on my bed," said the middle-sized Mama Bear in her sweet, soft voice. "Somebody's been lying on my bed," said the cute little baby bear in his itty-bitty voice. "And do you know what? She's still there." Now look at the look on Goldilocks' face and the bears. Goldilocks woke up, scared by the bear. She ran down the stairs, out the door, and away from that little house as fast as her legs would go. And the three bears never saw Goldilocks again. And I'm going to put scared. Goldilocks was scared. I'm wondering why she was scared. I was wondering if she was scared because she was uncomfortable with the bears, or if she was scared because she realized she made a mistake and was caught doing something she shouldn't have been doing. So, class,